So there was this one time in band camp. Hey guys, it's me, Daisy Doll. Welcome to my channel. If you're not new, welcome back, okay? Welcome back to the house. And if you're new, oh my God, I've been waiting for you. I'm so glad you finally joined the party. So get comfortable because you're about to love it in here, okay? Anyway, I would love to thank everybody that has been liking, commenting, subscribing, watching, oh my God, texting me about it. I love it. Thank you so much. You don't know how much I appreciate all of your support. It means so much to me. Okay, let's see. So today, I just want to keep it simple, short, and colorful. Wait, let me repeat that. Simple, short, and colorful. So, I do have maybe two or three stories of where I shot my shot, okay? And how I approached it, it was not, from what I recall, anything that I spent a lot of time thinking about. It just occurred to me and I went for it. Now, I understand not everybody is like that. Not everybody thinks like that. But for me, it was my instinct and I did it. So I'm about to tell you guys about when I shot my shot a couple of times. Now, this video is really just to tell you that women can shoot their shot, right? Now, I'm not saying that the shot is going to land in the basket and that you're going to score a three-pointer. Let me be clear, okay? But I am saying that you can actually successfully shoot your shot. Be the one to take the lead in terms of, approaching the guy first as opposed to waiting for the guy to discover you before anything is said. I wouldn't say that I've taken that kind of direct approach where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna walk up to a guy and say, hey, you're cute, let's go out. No. But I have found myself a few times where I approached it differently, but it was still kind of the same idea of me being the one to take the first step, right? I haven't done this thinking ahead of time that I would do this. It just kind of happened in the moment. And I'm the kind of person that if I feel something like that in the moment, I'm going to go for it. There's no stopping me if I feel it in the moment. And I've had a few times where I've experienced this. So let me start with the first story. So there was this one time in band camp. No. I never went to band camp. Kind of like earlier on when I moved to San Diego, and I pretty much was looking for things to go to, events to attend, just to kind of like get familiar, with the area, with the people, with the community, make some connections. I mean, that's what you should do, right? When you move to a new town. By this time, I had already started to fall in love with doing photography. And I took my camera, put it around my neck. My DSLR Sony camera, Sony Alpha camera. I was like, you know what? This is going to be my thing. This is a way to be able to interact with people. They see your hobby. It's a good conversation starter, okay? So that's what I did. I went to this jazz event. It was a jazz festival in downtown San Diego. And I just went to connect, as I said, right? To see what's going on out there. So I get there, the audience is already pretty packed. It was all the seats were already taken actually, and there were people already standing at the back. But I did find one seat next to this lady, like in the second row. So I was like, you know what? I had my camera on my neck. I just walked up in there, sat down, propped myself up. No. I mean, yeah, why not? Concert started and everyone was really enjoying it. The music was really great. It was like a trio of instrumentalists. Main guy had a trumpet. Another guy had maybe bass, and another had piano. So I was just sitting there taking photos in between, snapping shots. Honestly, I think there was a sign that said no photography. But I was like, what the hell? Like, who's gonna check me? I enjoyed the concert. It was like really nice. I took myself out of my comfort zone, stepping in there with my camera, like snapping the photos in between, and enjoying some culture. So it was great. In between the concert, the lady that's sitting next to me, she asked me, she says, so, do you know the main artist that is playing? And I looked at her and I was like, no, I don't. And then she was like, well, it looks like he knows you. It looks like he's got his eyes on you. I was like, lady, stop it. I think we were there for like almost an hour. The concert ended up being over. And I was like, you know what? Part of networking, right? Part of meeting new people would mean that I have to actually walk up, right? And talk to people. Or with my camera in hand, I basically just, went over to the different people that, put the event together, to the artists and musicians that actually performed, So I was like, oh, hey, like that was a great show. Like you did so well. I think I briefly said that to like the keyboard player and then the organizer. And then the next thing, I believe I don't want to say I bumped into, but it's like the next person that all of a sudden appeared was the main jazz musician. He was just right there and he was like, "Oh, hey, like you have, like what do you do?" And I was like, oh. I mean, a part of me, now I think of it, like, yes, I was trying to network, but I didn't look at that as shooting my shot. But I feel like that is an example of how you could actually intentionally shoot your shot with somebody you're interested in, right? And I was like, hey, like, you were awesome. Like, you did a really good job. Like, I love the performance. He was just like, yeah, he kind of gave me a little background about himself and the music and the performance, and then he asked me what I do. And I think it's because I had that camera in my hand. And I was just like, I think I told him what my real job was. Then I also told him that, like I do love photography and I do like to take photographs. So he was like, you know what? He's been looking for someone, he's been looking to get new pictures. And I was like, okay, all right. So he's like, you know what? Let me give you my card. So he goes away to his bag, gets his card, and yeah, we exchange numbers right on the spot. And, I left just thinking to myself, like, like, okay, I guess, this is part of why you get out there, right? To network and meet people in a new town. And, you know, things happen, like things happen when you put yourself out there. So that was one occasion where I felt like, I don't want to say that was an intentional shooting my shot. It was an intentional trying to network. However, the guy noticed me, right? And so, yeah, we ended up like, basically keeping in touch after that. So, anyway, I'll end that story there. I have another story where I super intentionally shot my shot. Like this was a full going hard in on shooting my shots. So I decided to go to Sunset Cliffs just to check out the water, as I usually do. Nothing different from the usual, right? So I'm pulling up into one of the areas where you could park, like one of the streets. And as I'm parking, I think I had just parked, and I see this guy literally jogging in the other direction with his shirt off, looking like a freaking Snickers bar, right? And I was like, I think I was even on the phone with a friend, and all of a sudden I was like, hold on, hold on. I was like, wait, hold on, hold on. I was so distracted by this guy jogging with just a pair of black shorts, no shirt, looking all athletic and tall, looking like Snickers. I was just like, you know what? Hold on, girl, just hold on. So he was jogging in the other direction, and I was parking in the opposite direction. But, I thought he was maybe getting in his car to leave. But lo and behold, he just, I guess, had to get something out of his car that he forgot. It looked like he had already been away from his car for a little bit, but then he had to come back to do something and then go back on his run. So I remember just like being like, oh my God, like he's pretty cute. I'm in my car, by the way, windows wound up. I don't even think he even saw me at all. Like, I had just pulled up to park on the opposite side of the street. I don't think he even had a clue that that just happened. He got whatever he came to get, and then he went back jogging back to Sunset Cliffs. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Again, my friend is still on the phone, and I'm like telling her what's going on. I'm like, oh my God, I just saw the cutest guy. He's over here with no shirt, just double cheeked up on a Tuesday. I'm done. So the next thing, I'm like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave a note on his windshield with my name and my number. Yeah. That is the thought that came to my head. I was like, why not? Like, what's the worst that could happen? So I go in the car and I realize I don't even have a pen. I don't even have a pen in the car. And I was like, what the heck? I always have a pen. So the next thing I'm like, you know what? I need to find a way to get this. I need to find a way to get this done. I'm fully committed at this point, okay? So I go into my trunk and I find some like old red lipstick that I rarely use, but it was just there in the trunk, right? Some glossy, like, deep colored red lipstick. Red lipstick, okay? Like the one where you like rub on your lips with it has a little sponge at the tip and you just oh my goodness. In fact, one of my friends got me that lipstick. Her name starts with a Y. I know she's going to be watching this video. And yeah. Anyway, so I take the lipstick and I found some paper in my trunk as well. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to leave him a note. And then I'm gonna actually write my name and number. Have you tried writing a note to somebody with some lip gloss or some lipstick? Look, it's not for the faint at heart. It requires a lot of patience and determination. And I think I had both that day. Here's the lipstick. I was like, you know what? I think this is the best thing I can use to leave this guy a note. So what I did was I took it out. I had some paper. By the way, let me show you what it what it looks like so you can see what I was working with to leave this guy a note on his car. This was my pen, okay? This was the pen. Like this part was what I was like 323. Giving my number out. Oh my God. And it smells too. So I was like, ooh, that could be kind of cool. Like, he reads the note, it's in red lipstick and he smells it and it smells yummy. Like, that's a good first impression. And then I took the note, I folded it up, and I went over to his car. I crossed the street from my trunk. I was literally in my trunk, penning down this little love note that I was gonna go drop off at this guy's car. And I was like, oh my God, what if he comes back? Like, what if I try to tuck the note between his windshield wipers and then the next thing, like, he shows up and he's like, So I had to be really quick, right? So anyway, I ended up going and like tucking it in, like right there, like where he would see it because he's driving. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, by the way, my friend is still on the phone. And I'm literally telling her like step by step everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm writing, all the moves I'm making. Like, who does that? I do it. That's who. Dude, I was like, I've never done that before. But I just had this, like, I don't know, this motivation, inclination. I don't know what it was, in all honesty. But yeah, like I just did it and it was fun. It was like like if anything, I just thought to myself, you know what? I just stepped out of my comfort zone. It was a very fun moment for me to like do that, right? But I don't know what's going to happen. But either way, that was like a new thing that I've never done and who knows where it could lead, right? So after I did that, I went, hung out at Sunset Cliffs, did my thing. And then, at some point I left, and in my head I was like, like I wonder if he's gonna do anything with the note. You know what I mean? Like if that happened to you where you walked up to your car and you saw a note, right, in the windshield, and then you opened it up and it's like red writing, a phone number, a name, a note. Like, will you be like, okay, that's weird and toss it? Or would you be like, you know what? I'm curious. Let me see what this is about. Let me go down this rabbit hole. Well, guess what? He went down the rabbit hole. I end up getting a call like later on that day. In fact, wait, I think it started with a text. Or what? No, he called. I remember. He called, and I remember I was busy, so I wasn't able to pick up, but he left a message. And dude was like giggling from ear to ear throughout the whole call. Like you could just hear it in his voice. He was just so excited. He was like, I just saw the note and I don't know what's going on, but I would like to hear from you. Give me a call back. My number is yada yada yada. I was like, okay. Okay, okay, okay. I was like, I remember being really excited that at least he took the next step to figure out what the note was about. I think it just like made it more fun, right? So I did end up calling him, right? And we ended up having a conversation on the phone, like, yeah. The end. No. Well, we had a conversation on the phone. He told me a little bit about himself. He actually didn't live in the neighborhood, but he loved coming down that way to go jogging and checking out the ocean. He was like, "Oh, let's exchange pictures." So, he wants to see who's this chick that left him this note on his windshield. Um, and this experience that he's never had, because that's what we do around here. We give experiences that people have never had, okay? Okay. Anyway, so he ends up sending me a photo of himself. I send him a photo of me, we're checking out the goods, and I remember looking at his pic and just thinking, he kind of looks like he's trying too hard to be a model, an actor. It just looked like, I don't know, he was feeling himself a little bit too much. And when it comes to me, I'm not into people who seem conceited or too self-centered. So I just got like those vibes from the photo. And then when I asked him his age, I think he was like super young. So I was just like, well, there's that. But the moral of the story is, you never know how things will turn out. If you see someone and you're like, you know what, I feel interested, I feel drawn to this person, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing something to get you to interact with the person. I don't think there's anything wrong with, being that you're the girl in the situation. I don't think it's wrong for you to find a way to talk to that person, to see if there's a spark, if there's a connection. Um if anything, the process will be fun. I guarantee it. If you're not crazy, it's going to be fun. Now, if you have other intentions, that's a no go. Don't do it. So, yeah, that was one of my experiences where I intentionally approached a guy. But again, like I said, it's not the most direct approach, It's a fun approach. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comment section if you, as a girl, have shot your shot, right, to a guy before, and how that went. Tell me the story. I want to know. And if you're a guy, have you experienced a woman shooting her shot to you? Like, without you even approaching her, she's the one that approached you first. I really want to know how that went. So I'm so glad you guys got the chance to enjoy this little conversation. Here's an ocean view that I've shot as usual. I love going to the ocean, it's my thing. So I like to capture some of that and share with you. So anyway, enjoy the view, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye. Ooh.